All right, last question for us to consider today as we again review in this third installment, the second article truth, that when we say we believe in Jesus Christ, God's only Son, we recognize, as Luther did, true God, true man, essential for the work of carrying out our redemption, so that a price of infinite worth could be given. Jesus' very blood to give us worth and to empower us to see things differently in this life, to not shy away from pain and suffering, but to join in the sufferings of Christ, to live a life to the glory of God, no matter what befalls us, no matter what happens to us, no matter how we're rejected. We're going to be like Jesus, humble ourselves, pick up our crosses, love others, give them the gospel of our forgiveness, and not worry about what they do to us, hoping that they believe. Last question. The next time you suffer for doing good, whether you're fighting against your sinful nature and you do the right thing, or you're proclaiming Jesus, showing the love of Jesus, and are being mocked for it, fighting temptation against the devil, right? That's tough. It's a struggle. So the next time you suffer for doing good or for speaking about Jesus, what thoughts will run through your mind as you consider that you are suffering just like Jesus did? In fact, how could you shape your life in such a way that you can be sure to see more suffering in your life for Christ's sake? As crazy as that sounds, let me say that again. How could you shape your life in such a way that you can be sure to see more suffering in your life for Christ's sake? That is to say, how can you have goals in your life where you put yourself out there for the love of Christ? You proclaim Christ, even understanding that that means more suffering for you, but find joy in that anyway. Make sense? Just discuss how much suffering will be a part of your life the closer you follow Christ, and for what reason. As you think about that, 1 Peter 3:16 through 18, he says, so that those who slander you may be put to shame for your good behavior in Christ. For it is better, if it is God's will, to suffer for doing good than for doing evil. For Christ also suffered for sins once for all, the righteous for the unrighteous, to bring you to God. 1 Peter 3:16 through 18. Just notice the emphasis on suffering. It's going to come. It's not a bad thing when we suffer for Christ. It's part of our discipleship. God's blessings then, as you consider that value God has given to you and how it empowers us to really join in the same mentality, the same worldview of Christ, where we humble ourselves for the sake of others, giving up our very lives and being joyful in such suffering.